Hi guys, and welcome to Halifax Here. My name is Gina Harnish.
I'm Adam Cooper.
Halifax Here is a My Halifax weekly podcast where we upload right here on our YouTube channel every Friday. We make videos about Halifax, things happening in Halifax, and answer questions and talk about things we thought you might like to talk about. So let's get into it. So for this week, we're going to be talking about our favorite summer festival here in Halifax. So Adam, I think you have one.
Yeah, well, you know what, it's kind of hard because there's so many good, like, Halifax is almost like the summer festival destination. There's like so many good things happen. I do have a favourite. I think I could guess yours. Mine's different though.
Yeah, well, what do you think mine is?
I think yours is a jazz fest.
Yeah,
totally. See that? That's knowledge, people. Mine's the film fest. I really love the Atlantic Film Fest.
Yeah.
I like it when they have the outdoor movie screens and you can go and watch like as a regular movie, and then you can go in and watch some of the locally made movies. It's just so cool. I'd love to actually like film something and actually go to a film festival, but I don't think my Halifax vlog would ever make it.
I don't know. Yeah, I really love the outdoor summer film festival that they have because they have it in all across like Halifax, Dartmouth, and Bedford. They have different movie nights, and they have this big inflatable screen that they put up and they project the movie on. And every year, I think they have different genres. So one year they had like superhero movies. Yeah. Last year, I think they had like
There's local movies.
kind of Atlantic movies. I don't think we went to see
one
one
last year.
No, but yeah, they have it all over. It's free to go.
Yeah.
And they have popcorn you can buy and snacks and drinks.
Yeah.
And
well, sometimes it depends. Like, because when Scotia Bank took over the sponsorship, they were giving out free popcorn. That was part of
they
it.
were.
That was part of them having it. So it's just kind of like one of those events where like everyone can go and participate in it. And I think that's kind of the whole thing that I always think about these summer festivals is like the good thing is like everybody really gets involved in, like, you think about Burger Week, which isn't really a summer festival but it's kind of a big deal. It's like everybody gets into Burger Week, and then the film festival everybody gets into, Jazz Fest everybody gets into. Like for the Jazz Fest, which I know you probably should talk about, but it's cool because there's little parks that like a jazz band will go and play as part of the fest. So you don't have to go to the main show to still kind of join in the jazz, because you know it's not easy to get to one of them if you work nights, for example, or you've got young kids. But on some of the weekend stuff, you can just like drop in and do some cool stuff. So it's just really nice that in Halifax, even with buskers, like it's like that is what's happening in the city for the entire weekend or week or however long it is, and everyone just gets into it.
Yeah, I feel like Halifax it really comes alive in the summertime.
Yeah.
Like there's always something happening downtown or somewhere, and it's really, I feel like things like the Jazz Fest and the Atlantic Film Festival really help keep that liveliness of Halifax going. But yeah, mine is my favorite festival is the Jazz Fest for sure. And I think because I used to volunteer, like me and my friend used to volunteer when we were in high school. And then me and my sister volunteered a couple years together, which is a great way to get in and see free shows. Just saying. Yeah. But no, I mean we go at least once every summer, like to one of the shows, and it's just so much fun. And they always have really amazing bands, and people come and perform.
I think the thing about, one, volunteering is actually a very good way to see free shows.
Yeah.
Because you're basically paying your way in. And it's like paying it forward. Because you look at like festivals like the Jazz Fest, like they need volunteers. So yeah, you haven't paid for a ticket, but you're helping them because they can't afford to pay like staff to man those things. So, you know, it's a kind of good paying it forward thing. So I think that's I know you said in jest, but I think that's a really good point.
No, and I mean, I think the requirement was 16 hours for the week, which is like 4-hour shifts, which when you think about it isn't that much. And it's a great way to see some free shows for sure.
The one thing I've always liked about the Jazz Fest is like we've always, whenever I've gone, I know with you, we've always gone to see the headliners. But then before the headliners, bands come out that you either haven't heard of, or remember that Haitian band, like the one time that we went, and they crushed it. And it's like there's just always this hidden gem that comes out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa, I just wasn't expecting this, and they were like, here we go, here we go, and it's just, and that's just the thing about the Jazz Fest. It's like it's just so, it's so unpredictable, but it's the best kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, and then I mean you can walk. It's right down on the waterfront. You can go for a stroll along the waterfront in the moonlight. Like it's the best time ever. I love it.
When I actually the weekend I landed in Halifax was the weekend of buskers, and I remember like exploring the waterfront by myself. That was really cool. And I walked along, and this guy literally said to me, "I like your pants." I was like, and being English, when he said "I like your pants," that was really different.
Pants mean something different.
And he was like, "You like my underwear? What's happening right now?" And he's like, "Yeah, your pockets on your pants." He's, "Do you want me to sing you a song?" And I was like, "I don't know what's happening right now." So I gave him. So he started singing me a song, and I was like, "Okay, I guess I give him." Like I had a toonie in my pocket from like when I the airport or something, and like I threw it into his hat, and then he started the whole thing again. And I was like, "Am I supposed to stand here and listen?" But that was my first experience with the buskers, and I'd never seen anything like it. It was so unbelievably cool / weird at the same time, and like it was like the waterfront was just packed. There was so many people, and I remember thinking, man, how can you not want to live here? Like this is so insane. Like this is what a weekend is like in August or whatever it was. I was like, I gotta be here for Christmas. Yeah, like that, and that's how it felt. And then that's what it feels like. You come down and like even when tall ships are in, like. For people that love boats, I get it, but like I wouldn't really consider myself a boat guy. Like I don't really like I get seasick. Like I don't really like it. But those tall ship calls come in, it's like
they're so cool.
I gotta get down and see them, and they're beautiful. Like they're like these big old boats, and
they had like there was like a pirate, like a full on. It looked like something from the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, like a legit pirate ship.
Yeah, it was so cool.
And again like the waterfront is just full. Everyone's having a good time. And I know that sounds stupid, but you gotta realise when basically the population of downtown Halifax plus whatever else tries to head to the waterfront at the same time, that's a lot of people and not the biggest space. Yeah. So but no one's like, get out of my way, you're being rude. Like everyone's just like, yeah, we're having a good time, so we're in a line, who cares? Yeah. And it's just so cool. I mean, and this year with Rock George's Island, like I've never been on George's Island before. That was so cool.
I don't think they've ever done that before. They had a concert where Joel Plaskett played on George's Island, and I forget who the headliner was, but that was so
Wasn't
cool.
Joel Plaskett the headliner?
No, Joel Plaskett was the main performer.
Isn't that the headliner?
Oh yes.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
I mean, what's the one before the opening?
They were a local band, and it's like in the back of my head somewhere.
I can't remember who it was.
But I've never been on George's Island. I want to say St George's Island because it's St George is a big sense of England, but it's not. I've never been on George's Island before, so to be there and like experience it is like what a cool little island. And again. How many people were there? Like 3,000-4,000 people or something?
So many people. I don't know if that's an annual thing. I don't know if they're going to keep doing that every year, but I hope they do because it was really cool. Yeah. And I think they were doing tours of George's Island, not on the day of the concert, but throughout the summer. They were doing tours.
They were doing tours as a part of tall ships. Like tall ships has always been like boats come into the harbour, but I felt like this year they really like, you know what? Let's just go at it. Let's show everyone what we can do. And they had rocks at George's Island, they had tours. And like they did a bunch of stuff that either we didn't know about before, like them doing it before, or they're like, you know what, let's show everybody else what tall ships can be. And it was such a cool event. Yeah. And Nocturne isn't even in the summer, but that's another one. Like it's kind of like an art event and like a musical event kind of thing, but it sets place at night and it starts in the evening where it's kind of like daylight. And it goes all throughout the night, and it like the city literally changes color. Yeah. And it's just like there's just art everywhere, and it's like, man, this is so cool. I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah, it's like art installations, like interactive art things that you can interact with, basically. Yeah. And all the art galleries are open, and even stuff that wasn't really that artistic or musical was open. Like we walked through
Government House.
The Government House, yeah. They had things in Halifax, like buildings in Halifax that were open.
Like a lot of the public buildings, like City Hall. I don't know, was City Hall open? Well, we'll say City Hall for now, but like things like Government House, City Hall, like kind of like fixtures of the community that you don't normally get to go into. And they're open and you can take tours of them, or they had art installations there, and then you're just like, you know what? This is a really cool event. And again, like these events are free. You turn up and you get to go. I mean, the buskers, the idea is that you obviously pay them, like almost like tip for them kind of thing for their performances, and that's kind of how they make those guys make their living. But to be fair, when you've seen a guy on a unicycle that's 12 foot high juggling axes blindfolded while holding a sword in his mouth, like he deserves some kind of a tip. Not a sword tip. That's dangerous.
He definitely deserves
some kind of money. Some kind of money. But we did doors open that was the first time we did it last year. Well, I did it. Don't know if you did it before. Do you remember and that's kind of like nocturne during the day, but basically, literally all the government buildings in there, and like the Dingle, they are all opened up, and you can just go in and again explore parts of the city that aren't usually made available to the public. And you know, I got to go and sit in the mayor's chamber and go in the mayor's office and declare myself the king of my Halifax.
Yeah, that was really cool. I felt like we weren't allowed back there or something. It felt like because you asked the girl, because we were talking to, or the guy who he was kind of talking to us about the
history of the building.
The history, and Adam was like, "Can we go in the mayor's office?"
So
he was like, "Yeah."
So what happened? We go into the chambers where the councilmen are, and the lady was like, "Well, you can sit in the mayor's chair. The kid before you declared that all cheese should be free." And I was like, "All right." So I sit in there. Firstly, the mic was on, so I was like, "I feel powerful." Like it rang out throughout the hall. And then having done that, I was like, we were literally walking out to go downstairs, and the security guard was like standing outside the mayor's office. And I was like, well, since I'm the mayor now, can I go to my office? And he's like, yeah, sure. Yeah. And he opens the door, and I look at you and I was like, what do we do? And like, we were going to film it, then we were like, should we film it?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I should film it.
We're supposed to be in here right now?
Yeah.
And I know that's for anyone, we probably sound like we're being giddy, but it was just so like off the cuff kind of remark that gets you in the mayor's office.
Yeah, we didn't expect that at all, and I mean, he wouldn't have brought us back there if we weren't allowed, obviously. But like, it was just like.
But it was just kind of being like a school kid when you've snuck into like the gym when you know you're not supposed to be there. That's what it felt like. Yeah. But I mean, again, it's events like that in Halifax that, as much as Halifax feels like it's a city that's growing and it's getting bigger. You know, they still open all the doors, people can go in, and it just feels very much like it's always been our city, it's never been like somebody else's, and that's the best thing about Halifax is like everything is really people friendly and is for the people, and it's a very much only in Halifax could something like that happen, and I just feel like really lucky to be here, and I know that a lot of cruise ships come in through the summer and they all try and time it around these events, and I totally get it because Halifax is beautiful year round, but the summer it's got this whole different vibe to it. It's definitely a place to check out in the summer. Yeah, for sure. So I think we might wrap it up here. I will ask you, Adam, if the Atlantic Film Festival, if they're watching, if they were to have a genre or play a movie this summer, what would you want them to play? Oh, that's a good one. I would like them to play. They should do a genre called the originals. So movies like Ocean's 11 and things like that were originally Rat Pack movies that were filmed in like the 60s and the 50s. I'd like to see the originals thrown up there. Yeah, I like that. Just because there's entire like people sitting there like Ocean's 11 is so cool. I was like, yeah, it is. It's a remake. It is a remake though. But watch it with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Like I'd love to see that kind of it because there's a lot of movies that. I'm a bit of a movie buff, so there's a lot of movies that you watch and you're like, this is a remake. As much as I love George Clooney's version of Ocean's 11, the original's pretty good too. Yeah. So that would be my answer. I like that. Thank you for watching this week's episode. Next week we're going to be talking about some of our favorite places to eat in Halifax, so tune in next week. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube. If there's anything you'd like us to talk about, make sure to leave a comment below, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye. See you guys.